A natural way to stay ready, baby. 'Cause I'm ready for you, Mr. C.
The ultimate male supplement, men's total wellness formula, packed with essential nutrients for men's health.
She'll call you Mr. C.
Let's in the chat if you can hear me and hear me clearly, please, and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, drop a 9 into the comment section for me. Drop big up to all of those who are in the live from early, all the frequent travelers right now. Thanks and big up for being a part of this live. Let me jump into the comment section and see who the frequent travelers in the live right now. Drop a 9 for me if you can hear me and hear me clearly. I'm telling you, we had to revamp the platform. We got a big revamping going on. We're making sure that everything is the way that it should be. Big up to all the travelers right now in the live chat with us. We got a number of headlines and we're going to jump straight into those headlines. I am Delta 9 Media. You are live right now with us here for a Turn Up Tuesday special live presentation where we go through all of these headlines locally and throughout the diaspora in a neutral manner, like only Delta 9 Media can do it. Many imitate, but they could never duplicate one Delta 9 Media. Big up to all of those who are going to join us in this live presentation as we jump into some of these headlines, definitely right here on this Tuesday afternoon. I mean, we're scrolling into the afternoon, still considered morning, right? We got a couple minutes more before that afternoon hour. Thanks for tuning into the live presentation. We're going to jump into some of these headlines because if the opposition are not ready to work together, work in unison, and if we as Guyanese don't wake up, Onika, big up yourself, and thanks for tuning in and being a part of the live. Beautiful, bright, sunny mid-morning to Delta 9 Media family. Yeah, we are almost there into the afternoon over here as well, like 10 minutes more before that noon hits the clock, right? Big up to all of those who are going to be a part of the live presentation and all of those who are going to jump into the presentation in the future. We're getting into some of the headlines that definitely is trending right now locally and internationally. Not a usual flight time, but nonetheless, we're right here live with you. All right? And we jumping into all of these details, all of these esoterics of what is going on in Guyana, around the diaspora. We jumping into some of these details like we do over here on Delta 9 Media on a usual basis, right?
Guyana is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the Caribbean's economy.
Tell them.
Without them, the rest of us are barely
Let them
growing.
know, and the South is not the part.
Media bringing you money news for the Caribbean. So, according to the Caribbean Development Bank,
Yes.
CDB, the region could see economic growth of about 6.2% in 2026.
Nice.
Sounds strong, right?
Yes.
But that number is almost entirely being driven by Guyana's booming oil industry. With Guyana, the CDB said the expected
Because
growth
we've
across
Caribbean
the rest of
and
the
the Caribbean
dropped to just
benefiting from we. That's how it's not
In other
Caribbean.
words, Guyana is doing a lot.
Tell Major Hyde.
The country is expected to grow by more than 20% this year,
Yes.
thanks largely to expanding
Never mind the
offshore
government
oil
will have a
production.
week, but yes.
And that rapid expansion is pushing the region's overall growth numbers higher, making the Caribbean economy look stronger than it actually is. In
Yes.
2025, economic growth across the Caribbean slowed significantly.
The Caribbean thankful for we.
Countries have recovered from the
Heaven,
pandemic.
woman, we don't care what you say no more. If it wasn't for Guyana, the Caribbean wouldn't be where they're right now.
The God
How
know.
do we make we stronger? How do we want? We don't care. But let me understand something clear. Guyana is a part of the Caribbean, and we make it we grow.
Heavily service-based with construction and infrastructure
Chairman Hekimaya.
activity. The 1-2 punch of Hurricane Beryl and Melissa, plus the USA's changing tariff regime, seriously impacted those sectors.
Yes.
But Guyana was
Guyana
a clear
gave me a backside.
outlier. While most Caribbean economies expanded
Chairman,
slowly,
what if
Guyana continued its streak of double-digit growth as oil production increased and investment.
Hey, what you think about it? You've got to be overzealous for you and you own, because guess what? Y'all see what Venezuela doing with Barbados? Y'all see what Venezuela going on with Barbados? They set up a new situation. Seemingly, since Trinidad want act up, the man say, hey, Barbados, y'all want to become the food basket of the Caribbean by proxy? Y'all want to help us to strategically align this international trade for our food, plus a lot of oil and different things, different deals. We're getting into these details. We're going to hear directly from the two-headed government. Yeah, we're going to hear from Honorable Mayor Mottley, and we're going to hear from the leader, the present president of Venezuela. We're not talking about this one. We're talking about this one who, is presently in a situation right now in the US. We're not talking.
Good night. Happy New Year.
People posing off with brooch on their chest and them thing, depicting them actually taking more than 3/4 of our country right in front of CARICOM leaders. I want to say, listen, big up to Honorable Priya Mani Chan and all the other politicians and leaders that are calling this out and calling a spade, because I see persons coming forward and saying, listen, since they want to play the kind of game, we got to play a game and realize that, hey, the position that we're in, we got to move in a particular manner. When you see people doing certain things in front of your face, you know that really and truly they don't got no real respect for Guyana. Or you could got respect for Guyana when a person, or you thinking about yourself, or you making sure that you strategically put yourself in a position, because maybe not forget, there's a lot of famine and a lot of different shortages that is caused because of what's going down in the Strait of Hormuz. So who better to align yourself with now than a person that got the biggest oil reserve, right? Forget about the duck curry and them thing where they sent on that plane allegedly. I could NYAM down go NYAM and galang my way. Forget all the land, the little piece of land and them thing where they feel they could give me, where we could connect with Barbados and we could make sure that we move our food resources and different things and do different international trade. Plus, we could become the hub and help to what? Stabilize the Caribbean. So Venezuela now is going to be the person stabilizing the Caribbean. Where does that leave Guyana? Remember, where is the headquarters for CARICOM? In Guyana. Or they think they own that part, so it's really in Venezuela because they were in the brooch. We all think about what we're seeing and what's going on right now. We got to analyze it in a real way, It's a couple of days since I do a live. But guess what? I was straightening out certain things on the channel. Remember every time when I was telling y'all, please thumbs up the live. Please share the live. It got to even out because we're going to have haters on the platform. We're going to have persons who don't want this kind of information to be shared. We're going to have persons who are mad that we're talking about certain things, highlighting certain things, going to a certain altitude with the flight. You know, sometimes we take the flight to a whole different altitude and we get into esoteric conversations, sharing all kind of books, decoding all kind of things about certain groups. They might not like it, buddy. And we right here, no matter what they do. Yeah. Here's this call coming in. You ever see something like this? Call, I'm gonna give you a call right back. I trying to identify which one of the apps you calling on and in getting a chance to see the app. Samuel, I'm gonna call you back right now. I'm gonna call you back, Samuel. I'm gonna call you right now. Samuel, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, morning to you now, wicked listeners and flyers.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Look, you see, you can't vex him with me. Mayor, they getting carried away by the hype. Mayor, see that to carry Guyana, she benefit from Guyana, but when Mayor looking for some push a country.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand me? She looking for something. I still know it had this hype and possessing. And the self-government is possessing itself.
Plus, how long this project is done in and delaying and all kind of thing. Me never wait for the gas to energy, but it's taking too long.
She don't pick with governmentization.
Yeah.
She don't for the people they gonna do for the country.
Exactly. Exactly.
Then you know book for she don't looking on the road. So the woman elects herself before she go get a long-term standing to share the country. You understand?
Yeah.
If we can look at the country, look at the government. All we do is get a set attack and a set of possession and a set of sugar coating, but nothing is coming down to the people. We get a set of zero, all it is basic road. They will last a long. You know, so there's nothing long term. There's nothing long term. We hospitals, we in nursing and doctors. You know, it's like nothing. So the woman gonna like herself. The only thing that I don't like is that they encouraging the woman with showing that, you know.
Yeah, and as one of the foundation, persons who signed that treaty for CARICOM, how you feel about she sitting down with, you know, with Venezuela with that brooch on your chest? That's disrespect to your face. If they disrespecting you to your face, what they do behind your back?
Yep. And what do you expect? If she would come and hand this country over to the treaty.
I tell you.
We don't regard someone as a citizen in this country. You understand what I mean? So it's a self-serving kind of thing. It's self-serving, and she and the other one Gonzalez the benefit, and they're gonna make their service.
I tell you.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Big up yourself, Samuel, and thanks for calling in with those insights. Frequent travelers calling in from the earlies as we jump into some of these details from the meeting, the special meeting. Persons fly out. Oh, it only took an hour for me to get here. People, it's take more than an hour for drive around. How long it take for you to get to Guyana? How long it take for you to network with one of the foundation countries in CARICOM that you're gonna go and network and set up all kind of thing. I'm gonna show you how persons are highlighting the foundations and the organizations that they would have formulated that is gonna compete with Guyana when it comes down to food and resources in the region. So under Praxi, Venezuela is kind of sponsoring the competition that's about to start. Listen, we're gonna jump into these details right here on Delta 9 Media. Oh, and don't forget, Samsung keeping us connected no matter where in the world we're located. Samsung, that's the workhorse of Delta 9 Media. We jump into some of these details coming in from the meeting with the two so we could hear for ourselves right now. All right, thinking Guyanese, all persons in the diaspora, we gotta get serious with this thing because guess what? With this conversation and this back and forth that is going on in the Strait of Hormuz, we're going to have a lot of implications that's going to be knocking on our doors. We jump into this.
In this world in which we live, you cannot avoid the issue of energy.
Finalmente, en este mundo donde vivimos no se puede evitar el asunto de energía.
The price of energy is what concerns everyone across the world today.
El precio de energía es lo que preocupa a todo el mundo en el mundo hoy día.
We have for some time been speaking about the possibility of deepening bilateral cooperation between Venezuela and Barbados. In our own instance, we have the Barbados National Energy Company, which, while small, is in a position to work with others to be able to better invest jointly in the fields that are being offered for us to be able to see how best we can expand our capacity and become more resilient and to ensure that we maintain affordable access to energy products.
Hemos estado hablando durante mucho tiempo sobre profundizar las relaciones en el campo de energía con Venezuela. Tenemos la compañía de energía, la Compañía Nacional de Petróleo de Barbados, lo cual es pequeño, pero a la vez puede comunicar y aprender mucho de Venezuela y beneficiar mucho de esa relación para poder disminuir los precios de energía que son accesibles para nosotros en Barbados.
Let me record for our own benefit that whenever there has been an international oil crisis, countries of the Caribbean only survive it if there is assistance from outside.
Yeah, I hear how Mia is highlighting the oil crisis. This is not time to lollygag and play around. If you got space in your yard, right now is the time. If you can, to start growing something. Right now is the time to network with other persons, save, get some type of alternate source of income independent from the one that you got right now or connected to it so that you could get some extra money coming in because things are about to take a turn and we're hearing it directly from the Honorable Mia MOTTLEY, who just so happened to be trying right now to side with one of the biggest oil producers in the region. What y'all think about what we seeing right here, Delta 9 travelers? Drop it into the comment section or call it in. Let's have some real conversation about very important and trending headlines. Eva, thanks for being a part of the live, Eva. Eva is saying, good day to Delta 9. Beautiful Tuesday morning to everyone. Definitely a beautiful Tuesday morning in the sunny and definitely, you know, in the summertime, how beautiful Pennsylvania is. It's be a nature display as you go through the different mountains and stuff like that. So beautiful, right? Thanks for being a part of the live, Eva. Samuel, big up yourself. All the way from Roxanne, Burnham Gardens, the whole of North, the whole of South Rumbelt, East, West, the whole Georgetown, Workmanville, everybody. Big up yourself. Thanks for being in this live and for making it what it is, for dropping insightful commentary into the comment section. Rasta Empress, one of our insightful moderators, is here with us. So you don't know, The flight is going to be on a different altitude. Good afternoon, everyone. Special greetings to Delta 9 media host and family. Christopher, thanks for tuning in. Christopher dropping the nines in the comment section every single time. Eva's also highlighting this. The PPP, too wicked. I feel the channel what Jack Dio said we could give under the AP and UAFC, then when they come, must give it. I telling you, real thing. But what we gotta analyze, we got the sweet crude. And if we got the right leadership, we don't got no problems because guess what? This is the time now for we to network with Trinidad and other nations in the Caribbean because as you could see, hard times coming and people looking out for them and theirs. What we doing for we? What is the opposition doing? The opposition making sure that we got some amount of unity amongst ourselves so that we could move forward in a way that is gonna help for there to be an even dispensation of this great wealth that we just would have started to accumulate, or we can play a game. We can play checkers when people playing chess. Y'all, let's see what's going on right there. Barbados link up with Venezuela. Big brooch on chess showing that she own a big part of Guyana. When recently you body and everything is good with you and persons that are in government. Again, I'm gonna say big up to Honorable Priya and all the other leaders. I only get a chance to see the headline that Priya would have posted, and I heard Honorable Mr. Duncan highlighting a number of things on it as well. And those are probably only two politicians that I would have personally had a chance to hear speaking out strongly about what's going on. And it's important that we understand there's a present oil crisis that is going to have far-reaching implication on all the prices of so many of our most important commodities. What are we going to do about it? That is the question. Let's hear some more coming in from the Honorable Mia Martin.
Déjame grabar para nuestro propio beneficio que siempre que hemos visto crisis internacionales de petróleo, los países del Caribe solamente sobrevivimos si hay ayuda de afuera.
In the 1970s, when we had the international oil crisis, we had the San Jose Agreement, which helped all of us in the region, and we thank Mexico and Venezuela for that.
En 1970, en los años 1970, tuvimos la crisis internacional de petróleo y tuvimos el acuerdo San José que ayudó a todos nosotros en el Caribe y agradecemos a México y Venezuela por eso.
In the 1990s, President Chavez would have assisted with Petrocaribe, which would have helped a number of countries in the region as well.
En los 1990, el presidente Chávez ayudó con Petrocaribe, lo cual ayudó a muchos de los países en el Caribe.
And in recent times, we've had Venezuela also discuss and try to assist other Caribbean countries with discounted product where possible.
Y en tiempos más recientes, hemos tenido a Venezuela intentar ayudar a los demás países del Caribe con precios de energía a descuento.
So that over the course of the last 5 decades, Venezuela has been a very close friend to the region as it relates to energy security and energy efficiency, affordable access, I should say, to energy product.
Durante los últimos 5 décadas, Venezuela ha sido una amistad para los pueblos del Caribe en cuanto a la seguridad energética y la posibilidad de comprar energía en un buen precio.
Barbados's needs for us are huge, but for other countries it will be modest.
Las necesidades de Barbados quizás para nosotros son grandes, pero para otros países pueden que sean pequeños.
And that is why we welcome the opportunity for this cooperation to see how best we can invest to the benefit of both countries at this very, very difficult time of energy insecurity.
Y por eso damos la bienvenida a esas oportunidades.
Both countries, not both countries and the region and CARICOM, but both countries. I wonder how persons are taking this because there's a lot of takeaways from this writing. A lot of takeaways from this conversation.
De cooperación, donde podemos ver cómo nosotros podemos cooperar en esos tiempos difíciles de energía en el mundo.
We want our cooperation to extend also beyond fossil fuels to also renewable energy, and that is where we believe, whether it is in the issue of solar water heaters or the more advanced stages of PV panels, photovoltaic panels, or ultimately wind energy, we believe that our opportunities for cooperation on renewable energy are tremendous.
Queremos que la cooperación va más allá que solamente el petróleo. Hay oportunidades para cooperación en energías renovables, ya que sea paneles solares o los mismos calentadores de agua solares, o también en fuentes de energía basada en viento.
So I want to thank you, Madam President, for ensuring that we can today, on the 27th of April, make another major step in securing the bilateral relationship between our two countries.
Quiero agradecerle, señora presidenta, para asegurar que nosotros hoy, día 27 de abril, podemos tomar otro paso en asegurar la relación bilateral entre nuestros países.
I want to put it in context. You took 1 hour to travel from Caracas to Bridgetown.
Quiero ponerlo en contexto. Usted demoró 1 hora para viajar de Caracas a Bridgetown.
There are many of us who spend more than 1 hour on the road in our respective countries traveling. And therefore, this is to show you how close we are to each other.
Muchos de nosotros pasamos más de 1 hora en las calles de nuestros propios países, moviendo de un lugar a otro. Entonces, esto nos demuestra cuán cerca estamos el uno al otro.
How close are they to Trinidad? Do you think they're closer to you, or they're closer to Trinidad? They're closer to you, or they're closer to Guyana? How come they can't network with Trinidad? How come they can't network with Guyana? But they could come and network with you. And all three of y'all is a part of CARICOM. But they can't come. They're trying to take away more than 3/4 of one of the founding nations of CARICOM. Right in Guyana is with the headquarters of CARICOM there. They can't walk along with them. Actually, they're close to being at war with Guyana, if you ask me. Plus, they can't work along with Trinidad, surprisingly. But they're working along with who? Man, listen, we hear what's going on.
We must not let history or language prevent us from being able to find the best possible cooperation for our two countries and our two peoples.
No podemos dejar que la historia ni el idioma impide nosotros encontrar las mejores posibles fuentes de cooperación para nuestros dos países y para nuestros dos pueblos.
No history or language should separate and allow us to not be able to work together. Paraphrasing, you understand? But what about CARICOM, Mia? What about Guyana, Mia? What about the treaty that was signed between us as nations? What about that brooch? Why I think I put it like that on the thumbnail so persons can see clear as day what's going on. During this crisis, persons is saying, hey, we gotta look out for ourselves because, yeah, I see what's going on in Guyana. We might be left high and dry and in a bad situation because we want friend and body certain people. We might gotta make a move with Venezuela. Oh, Venezuela could move now because they don't hold on Maduro, and other persons are in place in the positions of power. So now things are a bit more friendly for trade. Let me see if we could get into trade with them. Let's offer them an olive branch. We're one of the founding nations in CARICOM. Let's see if they're gonna bite. And guess what? They did. Let's hear.
And we look forward, therefore, to building on the work of all of our predecessors that have allowed our two countries to have a strong relationship. And we enjoy strong diplomatic relations that we would want to be able to make sure is not just for the benefit of those who are at the level of government, but we want it now to benefit ordinary people so that they can get the best that both countries have to offer. I thank you.
The best that both countries have to offer, not the best that the region has to offer, not the best that, listen, we analyze it, we analyzing the details coming in, buddy. Details coming in, as you heard Honorable Mia highlight. This just went down on the 27th, today being the 28th, not even probably a full 24 hours yet. But we're here highlighting these very important details. Guyana, we gotta understand. We gotta understand what's taking place. So since all of this is going on in Barbados, then Barbados should be having the highest amount of Venezuelan migrants there. Open up you country and take them into Barbados now. But no, because it's closer to Guyana, most of them are finding themselves, let me say some, because I never know. They might be going to Trinidad and other places as well. I know they can't come to the US no more. Big up to Trump and everything that the great Mr. Trump is doing right now. Right? Big up to President Trump. Because other than that, the borders would still be wide open, and who knows what would have been the situation right now with all that's going on in the Strait of Hormuz and all of this stuff. Yeah, and we even hearing a conversation. Remember back in the day, persons had a big gripe when certain steps were made by putting policia on the police force vehicle and them thing. Well, guess what? Guess what is the conversation now? About this language barrier. Persons are saying we got to make Spanish the second language of where? Barbados. That is how far this coalition, and well, probably not a coalition, but this is how far this partnership would have already progressed. Meaning, this is just a public display of private conversations and things that might have already been discussed by these leaders before. How long these conversations going on, man? How long now these conversations are taking place? I could understand why as well persons are definitely having some kind of different energy towards what's going on in this video. Because remember, like I keep highlighting, what's going on for CARICOM? What does this mean for Guyana? When you stepping in front of one of the founding nations in CARICOM with your big, I own a big part of Guyana brooch on in the Prime Minister's face. What is that saying to your nation as well? Is that now empowering them to make them feel, yeah, if me ain't even saying nothing about it, that means that other persons in the Caribbean are okay with them stepping in and taking a large part of Guyana? What y'all feel about what's going on right here? Drop it in the comment section. Call it in. Make sure I put up the hotline number, because all the persons in the live might not have the number. So let me put up this number so that persons that are looking to call in and share their views about what's going on right here can do so. Big up to all the travelers that are live right now with us. If you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, please and thank you. Take a couple of seconds. It costs you nothing. Nothing at all. This is the free way to support independent media. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button, buddy, and support independent media. And make sure you subscribe to Delta 9 Media so that we could keep you updated with these important headlines. We ain't coming for give, and talk about irrelevant things. This is important, very important, to the point where publicly heads of state from the Caribbean and guess who? Venezuela. Yeah, the same ones them who was just recently trying for invade and take over one of the largest parts of our country and one of the wealthiest parts as well. Let's hear some other plans about this whole thing with the language barrier.
I move next to the issue of language purely because if we are to ensure that the people of Venezuela and the people of Barbados can trade and become visitors in their own right beyond the work of government, it is important for us to ensure that as many of our people have access to the ability to be bilingual and therefore plan their own affairs without reference to any of us.
Paso entonces al asunto del idioma, del lenguaje, porque vemos que es importante si el pueblo de Barbados y el pueblo de Venezuela van a seguir a crecer en cuanto a comercio y intercambios. Es importante poder tener este aspecto de la comunicación.
And I would want Bajans not to be like me alone, where I can read Spanish and not speak it fluently yet.
Y quisiera que los barbadenses no sean como yo, donde yo puedo leer español, pero no hablarlo.
But we recognize that apart from our commitment to have all Barbadian children under the age of 18 by 2030 be exposed to Spanish in schools, we want to also have courses that are functional courses for farmers, for traders, for persons in the dedicated area in which they work, so that they can get ahead of the game in terms of the opportunities for trade between the two countries.
Pero reconocemos también que afuera de nuestro compromiso a que todos los barbadenses menores de edad de 18 sean capacitados con el idioma, queremos tener cursos y opciones para granjeros, para comercialistas, para que ellos puedan hacer negocios en el idioma y pueden salir adelante en el mercado.
Given all that is happening globally, it is critical that Barbados establish Spanish as our second language and allow our people to benefit from movement within this hemisphere, where Spanish is perhaps now spoken by more persons than English.
So, y'all here we're going on there. That's some. We're going to continue with the headlines. Let's jump into the chat and see what the frequent travelers are saying. Andrea, thanks for being a part of the live. Thanks to the PPP. Mia was never against Venezuela. The government is a pack of, I'm telling you, dark conversation when we analyze it. Because clear as day, in our faces, we can hear and see what's about to take place. And we're going to read an article just now so that we could get some more updates about the proceedings that came from this meeting right here. And I was checking other platforms. Nobody bringing it like this. Nobody highlighting this presentation so persons could understand the details of what's really going on. But this is the platform they want to fight. I keep saying I don't have a particular political party, and nobody can bully me into picking no side, because guess what? I am on the side of the people that support Delta 9 Media, the people that's going to make this platform into what it is. It's the people that chose to make this platform one of the largest sharing this kind of content. You understand me? And we're going to continue to do the work whether or not they pull the monetization or they pull whatever they pull. Money can't change me, because we are here to make sure that we always live greater. You understand what I'm saying? Money can't change me.
Dado todo lo que está pasando a nivel global, es crítico que Barbados establece el español como segundo idioma, especialmente en esta región donde el español se hable más que el inglés, y por supuesto aumenta el movimiento de los pueblos entre sí.
And we would want to offer Venezuelans the opportunity to learn English, recognizing that English is still one of the major languages of commerce and trade globally.
Since you want them to encourage them to learn and encourage them into Barbados, no man. Encourage them to come as well, no man. Open up the Barbados, make it friendly for Venezuelans to come there. Open up your borders. So listen, Venezuela could come with ease of travel. They have no worries when coming to Barbados. Let me hear that come out of the conversation and let's see what happens with Barbados in 2 to 3, or let me say in half a year from now. Let me see what's going to be the case. And then we're going to hear what Barbadians are going to have to say about this right here.
Y queremos, por supuesto, ofrecer a los venezolanos la oportunidad de aprender el inglés, reconociendo que el inglés sigue siendo uno de los idiomas más importantes en cuanto al comercio internacional.
Simply put, we believe we can complement each other in this regard.
De forma simple, podemos ayudarnos el uno al otro en ese aspecto.
And the reality is we had a history of it, but we let it fall. It is now time for us to ensure that both countries can cooperate deeply on this issue of language, even beyond what the Venezuelan Institute has done for us over the course of the last 47 years.
Y ya tuvimos una historia de eso, pero nosotros dejamos que se disminuye. Y entonces es hora de volver a levantar esto más allá que lo que el Instituto Venezolano ha hecho en esos últimos años.
If we get this correct, it makes it easier for us to see real progress on the next platform, which is tourism and connectivity. We have seen over the course of the last few years since our early talks, Conviasa come into Barbados on a regular basis since we resumed this a few years ago.
Si lo hacemos correcto, lo hace fácil pasar al próximo paso, lo cual es el turismo. Hemos visto esto en los últimos años con Conviasa aumentando sus visitas a Barbados.
Desiree is saying exactly. Moses is saying good afternoon. Delta. Big up yourself, Moses. Moses and the Hebrew pronunciation, Moshe. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of this live presentation. Big up to you and good afternoon as well, my brother. Thanks for tuning in. Narayana, one of our very insightful moderators, is saying pure facts coming directly from Turn Up Tuesdays right here on Delta 9 Media. These politicians keep these dark meetings, come up with solutions, and we the people have to deal with it. Times are different. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live.
Yeah, me again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's this is second talk that, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it might be the second public one, but the other
private conversations. Yeah.
So we know the next time anything come wrong, you don't know who she supported. Right?
Yeah.
We supposed to know that we get to know who they are. We know them from before, even with God. But that's why you want. Look, you see, it's like you got a friend, right, Fire? And you have to talk about progress and money making and that kind of thing, but you of yourself know that he lives your motives and he moving more than he's talking.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing these people of the government, you know. You think these people know that big government is shit? Sorry. You think these people know that big government are really up to nothing?
I'm telling you.
These people know, these people see these people like these people listen to these people. And these people know that is a clown show. You understand? So we not see that important to be on time. Me looking at your best interest. And yes, I asked about why people run why can't take in a mission country? Me is stupid. If you're me to tax to the US, and they say me a tax to them. I don't work with parents support, but me not do everything that you want me to do.
Yeah.
The woman doing business and me saying they can independent.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
We gonna be friends, we gonna be business partner, but don't take me for food.
Exactly.
You understand me? There's difference between partner and the controller. Between partner, you controlling me.
Exactly.
You understand me?
Yep.
And there's some meeting, let's meet with these people. Me don't go to anywhere, me don't freaking Trump and the UN and me don't freaking nobody. The woman standing on the country is standing on she principle.
Yeah.
And you understand? But if we can't do that, this we try to protect, we continue.
Yeah, and that's one of the thing, that I really like about Honorable Mia Mottley is that listen, she's serious about her Barbados. And I wanna know when we're gonna get a leader that's serious about we Guyana, buddy. Like what's going on with me, man?
Yes, but the citizens willing to put them there. And the citizens willing to vote for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That we're gonna get a person in the presidential seat that got that boldness that they can't hold nothing dangling over the head and saying, hey, we got this point. You say you better make sure you act like this. You understand?
But you see what we citizens doing?
Yeah.
We're looking to put more and more criminals in the driver's seat.
In the positions of power. Yeah.
People that the outer world get things on and to control them easily.
Very easy.
You understand?
Very easy.
People that can't even know themselves and look at it. And that is the problem we normalize criminality. Oh,
yeah.
if Trump get the challenge, why this man can't get the challenge? What's wrong with it? You understand? We know we don't have no morals, we have no standards, we just there. Anything that's supposed to be turned in the direction. Let's be talk back in the day. You understand me? We have no solid ground that we standing up on. So we gonna keep putting idiots and stuff fools inside of there until we know no more with the crime before you then. You understand? We saying that hey, Trump, you can't Trump a criminal is wrong that they put you there. We put it on the record. You understand me?
Real thing.
Careful normalize it. Oh, well, if there's it, not right to put it in it. Not right to this. You understand me? We ain't going nowhere. We need to put on the front. But don't put that another thing too. I like this idea that not start open farming lands in all them different communities.
Yes. Yes.
You understand? And the government sponsors support. You understand? Every people who understand and start putting money towards farms and that kind of thing, you don't show the country going.
Bro, it's kind of like if he had some kind of weird foresight, because right now there's about to be a food shortage, so he was right on point. He was on point.
Exactly. We got a lot of skilled people, we got a lot of farmers, we got a lot of land. When you will now put building for everything.
Makes no sense.
You will leave the rest of the farm because you waiting for one of your friends or somebody to come and buy it up. You can't eat the money.
Real thing.
But man, we never. And it's not just the government, it's the people. You understand? The government is enough for this stability.
I'm telling you.
It's just what it is. Anyway, thanks, man.
Big up yourself and thanks for calling in and sharing these insights with us right here on the live. Right now, Pierce Robinson, big up yourself and thanks for dropping these insights so that I could come and share it right here on Delta 9 Media with all the frequent travelers. Let's read this little article right here concerning what came from this recent meeting between who? One of the arch enemy and a member, one of the founding members of CARICOM. I telling you, really going on. Barbados chosen as Venezuelans' food export hub for the Caribbean and African market. Barbados chosen as Venezuelans' food export hub for the Caribbean and African market. President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Honorable Delcy Rodriguez, has formalized a strategic agreement that will position Barbados as the primary logistical hub for the exports of Venezuelans' food to the Caribbean and the African continent. How come they didn't do this networking with Trinidad? How come things went sour with my sister nation, Trinidad? I wonder if that was a part of the first conversation that we didn't hear when all of these agreements were made. Let me listen and matter of fact, let me read some more of this article. This agreement, according to Venezuela, aims to strengthen regional trade and food security. We all think about that. Guyana being known as the food basket of the Caribbean. What is going on with our nation? What's going on with the leaders? Are we looking and analyzing what's taking place in front of our face as the citizens? We analyzing what's going on in front of our face. I'm going to read a piece one more time. This agreement, according to Venezuela, aims to strengthen regional trade and food security, leveraging Barbados' strategic location to reach new markets across the Atlantic. Venezuela is also establishing maritime connections for both cargo and passengers to support these new trade corridors. I'm telling you, just like that, as Trinidad and Tobago becomes even more adversarial to the regional bloc, Barbados is now being positioned to take over the food supply space and reduce over dependency on our major companies that dominate the region's food supply. I'm telling you, the objective is to bring back stability to CARICOM. The objective is to bring back stability to CARICOM. So Venezuela is going to be the one to bring back stability to CARICOM? Really and truly, when Guyana making all of these pathways and all of these donations and spending and all of this money that's coming in into Guyana has got the Caribbean looking and appearing even better in the books as it relates to the amount of resources in the region. We all think about this. Venezuela bringing back stability to CARICOM. Venezuela bringing back stability to CARICOM. I'm hearing it, but it ain't registering right with me, you know. We all think. You gotta suss it out, buddy. A person who's looking to take away the wealth of one of the founding nations of CARICOM and the proxy is going to bring back stability to CARICOM. Make it make sense, Delta 9 travelers. I don't know what y'all think. Drop it into the comment section. Call it in. Let's have some meaningful conversation about this, you know. This is serious, you know. It ain't knocking on the door yet, you know, but it's on the bus coming over. It's on the bus on the way. The food shortage and the problems coming in because of the implications from the Strait of Hormuz. Check it out yourself and see. I'm going to show some more details about it in this live or in upcoming live presentations. Y'all gotta make sure y'all support the live. Support the live. Thumbs up, subscribe, share, or there's other ways that you can support Delta 9 Media. I don't know if they would have taken away the channel membership. I'm probably sure they did. But guess what? We're going to work nonetheless. We are going to work nonetheless. Money can't change me. We will always live greater. You see what I'm saying? Real thing. So if you're looking for an independent way, if you're looking for a way that you can support Delta 9 Media and support yourself at the same time by making sure that your health is on point, that making sure that every nutrient that you're supposed to have is a part of your physicality, then definitely
Unleash the best version of yourself with every goddess. Say goodbye to limitations and say hello to a better, stronger, healthier you.
Feet on soil, Guyana roots in my veins.
A natural way to stay ready, baby. Cause I'm ready for you, Mr. C.
The ultimate male supplement, men's total wellness formula, packed with essential nutrients for men's health.
She'll call you Mr. C.
8 Butterfly Black Seed, loaded with antioxidants and essential nutrients for your body's needs. Breathe better, feel better, live healthier. All the benefits of black seed oil without the taste. 8 Butterfly Black Seed Capsule.
100% wild-crafted sea moss. Only the best, 'cause you deserve nothing less. 8 Butterfly.
Special thank you to all our sponsors, all the sponsors who's making this live possible. Those who support independent media. Independent media. Money can't change we. Money can't change we. We're here doing these presentations with no monetization. One of the biggest platforms. They're trying to pull it down. They don't want the presentations as real as this. They don't want us to highlight these things that are going to inform the populace and let us move forward with a real foundation in what going on around. They want we come on and give about certain things that frankly are irrelevant and talk about all kind of things that is of no benefit to what's going on. But money can't change the message. Money can't change the message. We're here to highlight all the details and all the information. Now, if you're looking for a way to raise your consciousness and your insights about what is going on, then definitely scan the barcodes and take advantage of all of these notebook learning modules. All of these notebook learning modules to help you and all your loved ones step forward into a better understanding about so many things, so much information that has been held back from us as a people over time. Delta 9 Media is here, and we're highlighting all of that and more as we jump back into some more of this.
Firmly of the view that there are possibilities for joint marketing and promotion, and we will be working towards that between both of our tourism entities as we go forward.
Estamos del punto de vista de que hay oportunidades para mercadeo y para trabajar juntos y estamos trabajando hacia eso en adelante.
As I indicated before, Venezuela is a vast country with every climate known to mankind.
Como dije antes, Venezuela es un país grande con todos los climas que se conoce el hombre.
We have looked at the logistics, and it is possible for a person who wants to do a day trip to leave here in the morning, go to Venezuela. They will take anywhere, depending on where in Venezuela they're going, 1 to 2 hours, spend the day, see sights, be it waterfalls, be it snow in the mountains, be it the deserts, but to have a different experience from what Barbados can offer and still
come to Venezuela and see the snow. I wonder when the Venezuelans start piling up in Barbados if they're going to say it's time for them to go. Because right now me is saying, hey, enough Bajans want to come through see the snow. But when they start piling up in Barbados, will you then say, listen, immigration got to change. It's time for them to go? What y'all think gonna be the outcome of this? We read some of the frequent travelers. Big up yourself to Tallulah. Very insightful. And one of our moderators right here highlighting this. Me don't care about nobody but herself and what good for Barbados. I'm telling you, that's the kind of focus you should got. When you're moving as a head of state, you always gotta got the good for your nation in mind. Right? It's very important. But I wondering what's going on with us as a nation, buddy. What's going on with we? What's going on with we? Honorable Mr. Norton was highlighting the fact about how important it is for us to have large scale farming for food security in a number of different locations so that we ain't got no problem with transportation. We ain't got no problem with food shortage in no region and them thing. I wonder to myself, sometimes this why you gotta look and say, hey, you gotta listen when big people reasoning, you know. I've always been a youth like that. Ever since I growing up, because we had shop and them thing growing up. So me old man had no friends. I don't know I was the first born. So I always want there around with me old man and them things. So I always there around big people soaking in the big people conversation. Then send me, hey, go and bring this, go and bring that. But me, okay, because I want to learn and advance. So if persons were listening to the insights coming from Honorable Mr. Norton from before, I'm telling you, we might have been ahead of what's going on with this food shortage. We would have been smiling now because we have got a lot of produce that we could have sell to a lot of persons internationally and locally. What y'all think about that? Drop it into the comment section and definitely call it in. Well, the number is on the screen. I'm gonna read this comment one more time. Mia don't care about nobody but herself and what is good for Barbados. She's a user and she played the PPP. I'm telling you, for the fools that they might act like they are. Because I don't believe that everybody in the PPP party is acting foolishly. Some of them might be able to give the insights because of the way that the power is structured in the party. Some certain persons might have wanted to do certain things differently. But guess what? The reality is what it is. Big up yourself, Tallulah, and thanks for dropping those insights. We could see they got a food shortage coming. And let's hope that we are already prepping on the governmental level for what's coming, on the agricultural level for what's coming. But with all of these protests and stuff like that going on with the rice farmers, all of this flooding that's being allowed to go on, what are we really doing? Are we paying attention to what's going on in geopolitics? Man, listen, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. Guyana is a yes country. And the yes man always feel it in the end. And in a way, unexpected, the people are under pressure. I'm telling you. And why? Is anybody stepping forward and really giving the insights what's going on with this energy crisis, as was highlighted by the head of state of Barbados? Energy crisis. So we can go and do what we got to do for make sure we are right. Because when I study history, I realize, and I just paraphrasing some of what me and others was discussing in this presentation, that when they get oil shortage, we just got to network with international countries so that we could survive. Plus, with this new oil-rich nation of Guyana, we see no real progress coming in with this gas to energy plan, and we're gonna need gas and energy. What's going on with the gas to energy in Guyana? Me and now saying, buddy, it's best I deal with Veno, because they got it and they are already connected with the US. So me ain't got no problem with the business that I doing with them. You understand? Nobody can touch them, nobody can touch me. But I'll think about that. Let's hear some more from Honorable Mia Mottley.
We'll be back in Barbados for dinner at night.
Hemos investigado, hemos visto la logística y vimos que es posible para una persona salir de Barbados, visitar a Venezuela, puede ir a diferentes partes, ya que sea para ver nieve en las montañas o los desiertos, y para tener una experiencia distinta de lo que ofrece aquí en Barbados y llegar de regreso en Barbados para la cena a las 9.
And of course, the one-day visit is only the beginning, because we would expect that people may want to spend more than one day as well.
Y por supuesto esperamos que la gente quizás quieren pasar más de un día también.
We also believe that for our people and our students in particular, the opportunity to be able to see geography in real time and to experience much of what they've been learning at school is an invaluable experience.
También pensamos que para nuestros estudiantes la oportunidad de ver la geografía en persona, en tiempo real, y para poder experimentar las cosas, ver en persona las cosas que han estado aprendiendo en la escuela, es una experiencia invalorable.
When you come from an island, it is important to know that others outside of the island, how they live, how they work, how their history has evolved, how their culture has evolved. These things are important for our Barbadian people to be able to experience firsthand, and can only happen if we facilitate movement of people between our two countries.
Cuando uno viene a una isla, es importante observar y experimentar o tener experiencia de cómo la gente, las otras personas, otra gente viven, cómo trabajan, cómo funcionan, y observan de primera mano todo lo que ofrecen en otros países, y solamente puede pasar si nosotros facilitamos el movimiento entre ambos pueblos.
And finally, we recognize that the opportunity. I move next to the issue.
What are your views? And guess what? When they come to 2030, it's just a number of years away, 4 years away. We don't want no friend. We want no friend. Don't come back when they do what they're going to do with the 2030 initiative that so many countries signed up to already, and we're selling our carbon credits at the same rate to y'all too. Don't come for no CARICOM discount and them thing then, I hope they're gonna play this same game when come 2030. Don't forget, we loaded up with carbon credits. And if you didn't know, then guess what? Delta 9 Media is here to help your mind to grow. Drop it in the comment section, call it in, and guess what? Scan the barcode. The barcode will take you to this book called Money Out of Thin Air, that is going to help you. Look at it right there. That is going to help you understand just how wealthy Guyana is as it relates to carbon credits. Carbon credits. So we could understand what's going on with carbon credits and what's going on with our oil wealth. Barcode right here. Scan it. It will take you directly to this free book that was up online. And I just make sure that I bring it and share it with the travelers right here on Delta 9 Media. Big up to all the frequent travelers and all the new travelers in the live. A lot of frequent travelers might already have this book already, but nonetheless, I got to put it up back on the platform because this is video 1 on the 28th of April, right? This is video number 1. And you are right here on this special occasion, the very first, brand new. Because they're saying that we not even get into the, we here for the news and the headlines. We don't get into that. Carlisle, big up yourself. Shalom, shalom. And thanks for being a part of this live presentation. Peace to you and yours, my brother. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for being a part of this live presentation, right? Stanley's highlighting this. Guyana could be better off in food production, but not under the corrupt government. They are no good for Guyana, just taking the nation's resources. Y'all heard the views right there of one of the frequent travelers, Mr. Stanley. Thanks for highlighting those details in this live. Jackie was also highlighting, Jackie was saying the famine is here already. It's not coming, Delta. Wow. So y'all seen it already, buddy. Y'all seen it already. Listen, over here in the US, things are getting tense. Things are getting tense because persons are paying attention to what's going on when they go in the market. Persons are paying attention to what's going on in the country as a whole. Remember, we're literally at war right now. So there's a lot going on in the US. And Jackie is saying, listen, the famine is already here. not coming. It done there. I telling you, buddy. Dark, dark reality. Big up yourself, Jackie. Thanks for dropping those insights into the comment section. Now, Rihanna is saying this. I know abundance is here always. Ain't none of you gonna sow seeds of doubt, abundance. Well, listen, we're not sowing seeds of doubt. We're just highlighting the reality of of what's going on right now in the world. We definitely know that God is everything and God is abundance. No two persons are the same. Everybody got an individual thumb and an individual eye print, meaning that that is proof that nature is all about abundance. Nature is all about being unique, being great, right? And production. But at the same time, we got to call a spade and highlight what's going on so that we don't be misinformed and we don't look at a situation and don't understand what we're seeing, right? Big up yourself and thanks for dropping those insights into the comment section. Nariana is saying this: the delectable Negro will make most of you know not to trust these folks. I'm telling you, you see why I be dropping these books into the comment section, Nariana? Because a lot of persons might have never come across that book. You understand? A lot of persons might have never even heard about that book. And it's crazy because when you read it and you see the historical information that is there, it make you say, hey, if the famine is already here, some people might not be hungry and some people might be gone. It's crazy. And that is why we gotta highlight what's going on, because some persons might even know about the delectable Negro. They might be a part of the abundant food supply at a particular time for certain others. It's sad. It is sad. Big up yourself now, Rihanna. And thanks for dropping those insights right there. It is a pleasure being here, my brother. Big up yourself, Carlisle. Every single time. Shalom, shalom. Peace be to you and yours. Pay attention. Look around. Big up yourself, Jackie. Much love every time. Every single time. Now, what's really going on with the opposition? What's really going on with the opposition? We hear in this conversation allegedly that they got a lot of infighting going on. In win. And infighting is going to make them lose. There can't be an attitude of the win. The win can get internal struggle. A house divided can't stand. So that's not a winning attribute. That's not the way winners act, right? Big up to all those who are part of the live right now. Did you take a couple of seconds to make sure that you're thumbsing up this live? Or did you take a couple of seconds to make sure that you hit the thumbs up button so that we can have some type of acceleration in the algorithm? Why? Because they got the haters them that has come through and they just do everything to pull down the platform. But if you look at what we're presenting, you gotta understand that it's important that you support independent media. We not asking you for nothing, you know. Me telling you I get this and you gotta donate, I never once will tell you that. I will always ask you to support independently if you can, support the sponsors, and the free way is just watch the live and thumbs up the live. It don't cost you nothing to do that. Big up to Cams TV. And if you subscribe, make sure that you do, because he brings fire content like this. Let's hear some more insights coming from our brother Kadaki Amsterdam. Insights about what's going on in the different oppositions and a bit of what's going on right now in government. Let's hear these details.
People might come to themselves. Some people's political careers might come to an end, an abrupt end perhaps. Because take for example, I'm just trying to be logical here. If these fallouts that are rumored should take place over at Wynn. And Wynn's prime ministerial candidate suffers as a result of that fallout. Where she going by? What political home she gonna find? I'm sure the PNC wouldn't want her. She attempted to go there before and they...
John is saying, does not me a Motley voice. John, there's not me a Motley voice. How you know there's not me a Motley voice, John? John, how you know there's not me a Motley voice?
APNU is a creature, perhaps, of well, the PNC is a major player in APNU, let me put it that way. And so I don't think there will be a home for her at APNU. We know that she walked out from the WPA.
Zibuya. Shalom, shalom. Every political party has infighting. Unless they come and talk about it, it is just a rumor. Big up yourself, Zibuya, and thanks for dropping that into the comment section. Donnie, thanks for tuning in. Donnie is saying bless and set it off, Delta, every single time. That's what we're going to do, you know. Keep telling them money can't change we. We will always be greater. Every single time. Why? Present divinity. I am that I am. Stanley is saying this. Guyanese better wake up and vote for a better future for our children and grandchildren. So we better get our act together before it is too late. Pick up yourself. Thanks for dropping those insights into the comment section, Stanley. Very insightful comment section. Very insightful travelers with us today. Even though it's not the usual flight time, but nonetheless, the travelers are in the chat. Big up to all of y'all. Exactly. Pure distractions. Yeah, it's big distraction if we don't look at it. Right now, with all that's going on globally, we don't need no infighting. Plus, how come they're not a parliamentary meeting about everything that's going on right now? They got a war that is affecting global supply chains. How come they had a parliamentary meeting? Persons coming out and they're protesting to put in the opposition leader. Now the opposition leader is in position. How come the opposition leader in bringing out the same people them to protest so that they can have a parliamentary sitting so there could be some real unified solution to the famine that is coming, that persons are already highlighted and said done that is not coming, it's already there. So where is Parliament on this? Where is the information coming forward to the different demographics on this? Or is only tea on the terrace? There's the parliamentary meeting? I don't know what y'all think about it, man. Shouldn't there be some type of parliamentary meeting more than once about this by now? We are an oil-rich nation, and they got a lot of problems going on right now in the Strait of Hormuz, and global oil supply is having a lot of problems. Shouldn't we know? Shouldn't we, not now, but before today, had some type of parliamentary meeting on this already? We all think. Drop it into the comment section or call it in. It's serious, you know. This is not no game. This is not a game. It is very, very serious, and I'm going to pull up some of what's going on globally so we could understand just how serious the rest of the world is taking it. And up to now, we ain't even had a parliamentary meeting, But we seen the opposition leader reaching with this person, reaching with that person, call out the supporters, the 100 and something thousand persons that would have voted for you. Call on the rest of the opposition and say, hey, they're playing a game. We got to call out the people them because it's we people them going to suffer. God them is not part of friends, family, and favorite. So they're going to be the ones that's going to be dealing with all the problems coming, all the implications coming in from what's going on in the world. We're not somehow an island by ourselves. No country right now, even the islands, got to interact with other persons so that they can get through this crisis. Look what Barbados doing. What we doing? I think Barbados could boldly move forward and do it. Look how Barbados watching and say, I them man even keep a parliament. What's going on over there? I can't put me people them in them type of situation there. And thanks for tuning in, and it's saying good afternoon, Delta 9 family and viewers. Big up yourself, and thanks for being a part of this live presentation. The PPP cult is distracting us with provoking issues, right? So we won't focus on the money, that just disappearing. I telling you. Nariana is saying this, Delta 9, Donald Trump have a book out about it. Donald Trump have a book out about it years ago. It's all proxy. The war is the distraction. Everything else that has you on a low vibration. Well, powerful point. Powerful point. Because we know that these things are things that certain persons in power do. And that's why sometimes I was glad to take the flight, Nariana. That's why sometimes I was glad to take the flight at different altitude, and we could get into certain books like Nomadic Magic and certain things. They got another book that was written that highlighted some of what's going on with this order out of chaos and stuff like that they're doing. I don't remember the name of the book right now, but I know I got it and I read it. And it was highlighting some of the same stuff that a lot of persons in positions of power do to confuse the populace, and they moving forward and acquiring more political power because they pulling that order out of chaos. So sometimes I'm glad to take the flight at different altitude, but I don't know how many persons might be willing to go all the way up there, but we got to get into it. Thanks for highlighting that. And I'm going to make sure that I bring the book and I'm going to read a part of it. And to be honest with you, I already would have shared it in that notebook, in one of them notebook learning modules. Probably esoteric or one of the barcodes is going to have it in. I'm telling you, there's a lot of great information there. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted because you see a person with dreads presenting it to you. I'm a sociologist. I already know how to move so that I will be accepted in certain ways. I study. This is not my religion or nothing like that. I don't have a religion. So don't take it and look at it and feel, well, oh, Rastaman. No. That's not what this is. How could I find myself serving a usurper to the throne? You gotta wake up, buddy. You gotta wake up. We could share that insight right there and take the flight to another level. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. I can share it on this live. Stanley is saying, you know why you won't have okay. You know why you won't have a parliament meeting? Only when they want money. I'm telling you. So only when they want to do the budget and they want to pass certain things as it relates to coming back to parliament to get a new set of funds because they need new funds to do X, Y, and Z. This is when we can get a parliamentary meeting. Guyanese, we got to watch and see what's going on around the world, buddy. We got to watch and see what's going on around the world and what's going on in our country. And we got to put two and two together and realize that every single time, somehow we always find ourselves in these situations, right? Now Rihanna is saying these bunny ain't got no power. People got the power. Exactly. The power is always in the hands of the people, right? That's the reason why they run to the Humana Yana last elections, because the Humana Yana means meeting place of the people. Of the people. Constitution stands for we the people. The Constitution stands for we the people, right? And that's why they ran to the meeting place of the people, the Umana Yana, right there, close to the Kingston seawalls, right? For those who are not originally from the beautiful nation of Guyana and wondering what we're referencing when we're talking about the Umana Yana, a beautiful building that was designed by Amerindians from Guyana, right? Right there on the Kingston seawall, stone throw away from the Pegasus Hotel.
And so we don't expect the ego and the id, right? We don't expect that she might be willing to eat humble pie and go back and beg pardon at the WPA. And even if she's willing to that, I don't know if the folks over at the WPA would be willing to accept her on the rebound, because like I said, once been twice shy. And she had started a little known political party. I didn't know if it had any traction at the time when she went over to win. Oh yes, good, affectionate. You see why I like to talk these things on this program, because they're people who think outside of the box. They're people who think where I don't think. There's a possibility that she can become a member of the PP. Yes, so yes, her political career doesn't have to come to an abrupt end. Right, Winston John said there is no home for betrayers. Yes, sir. Until after 9, I can deal with you.
No home for the betrayer.
Yes, right? So, yeah, the PPP doesn't refuse anybody. The PPP welcomes everybody, because the PPP has to portray the image of inclusivity and so on, despite the fact that when you get included, in many instances, you are dumbed down, right? So, just like I'm saying, I'm looking at the the prime ministerial candidate's position over at Win. If these followed should have not win, how she's likely, or political prospects are likely to suffer. The same goes for Donnie Stings. The same goes for, I can't remember them. There were so many. All of those who abandoned the APNU-ship, right? And those who maybe came fresh, those who are fresh into the political scenery, on the political scenery, they might find homes easily. But those who have been bouncing around, here and there, and so on and so forth, their political careers perhaps can come to an abrupt end. Of course, that is if they have qualms about joining the PPP. And I believe, looking at the way a lot of political people behave in this country, I don't think they have qualms about doing anything that will line their pockets.
I'm telling you.
Right? So that is one of the things I'm looking at over at Win, to see what the fallouts will result in. But again, another thing I'm looking at over at Win, because of the win that we're getting out of Win, is a lot of people do things and they don't consider the consequences of doing things.
Uh-huh.
I understand the battle over there is about control of the party and control of who goes where as nominees by the party. For example, over GCOM, we know for quite a while that those that win were grumbling about having the current three opposition commissioners removed from GCOM, and one of the names floated to replace them is Clayton Halley, the husband of Tabitha Sarbo Halley, the prime ministerial candidate. We're now hearing about this alleged fallout that Hannah Mohammed, the sister of Azriel Mohammed, is basically pushing. So without consultation, my understanding, the rumor, without consultation, put whoever they want at GCOM. Now this is what you might end up with because
Wow. So that is why they would have got rid of the APNU member that was at GCOM. So that they could put whoever they want. My yeah, we're going on there. So you ain't just gotta worry about Honorable Claudette. You gotta worry about a whole lot of other implications right now that is going on in one of the most important organizations in any country. You're talking about the Election Commission? Ay, ay, ay. Compromised? Wow. What might be some of those implications? We're going to hear some more coming in from the smart, intellectual brother, Kadaki Amsterdam. Big up yourself wherever you're there. Big up to everything that you got going on. Shout out to all of those who take some time out to go over to the Twilight Lounge. I definitely gotta make a spin through to the Twilight Lounge when I'm in the region. Chill with my brother Kadaki, sip couple Guinness. I love music to just like you, buddy. And we could even gap, but you probably mightn't even want to talk about certain things like this at that time. It probably kicks in. Big up yourself, Kadaki. Thanks for sharing these insights so that we could definitely understand certain details.
this is I like to say there's a country when McCarranco and Kiskadi end up the same branch. A lot of people made their political decisions in the last election without considering the long-reaching implications, the long-term implications. Imagine these fallouts take place and the Mohammeds put whoever they want at GCOM and so on. What you might end up with is a 7-seat PPP representative at GCOM.
Oh, jeez.
Representation at GCOM.
Y'all hearing this?
Because all this,
if all of that was going on and they had representation there, right?
Right now,
if all of that was going on in GCOM and they had persons from the opposition that was foundation commissioners that was there doing the thing and still all of that was taking place, could you imagine if it go down the way that our brother Kadaki is highlighting? Pick up yourself, Tallulah. Tallulah is saying this. Delta, you are on point. When Mohammed was out of office, he knew all what the opposition should and should not do. Now, every time you hear about him, he's in court with his own business. How come he's not on the road making sure that there's a parliamentary meeting to discuss what's going on with Guyana moving forward, food security, cost of living, oil shortage. Recently, they had lines going all the way around the corner, people fighting, all kind of thing just for fuel up, just to put some gas in the car. But yet, no parliamentary meeting. No parliament. That makes sense. That can't make sense to y'all, but it don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. And we keep settling for this all the time. Why? Why? It don't make no sense.
it would appear as though the PPP is at war with the Mohammeds, or some elements of the PPP at war with the Mohammeds. And so that opportunity presents itself for amending offenses. Because according to Anderson, is a whole big circus taking place in this country, is a whole big song and dance taking place in this country. They are not keen on sending Azudin and Shel Mohammed anyway. They're just playing a game.
I'm telling you.
To say we tried, but we failed. And that is why they say the big nose man that foul keep messing it up.
I'm telling you. Big up yourself, Kadaki. Thanks for dropping them insights. We can get a little bit more, but let me hear some of what he was highlighting. And big up to Mr. Tom Anderson from Politics.
Well. So, the U.S. military under Trump's orders seized an Iranian oil tanker going across the ocean as if it was a flagged vessel from Guyana. Why is that? I will tell you why. And I covered this yesterday. You'll look in some of my videos and see. So President Obama set up a situation for Iran for them to get around sanctions by allowing them to trade oil for gold to anyone in the world. And that situation has continued to carry over. So Guyana has been used now by Iran as a way for them to be able to sell oil to anyone around the world. And they do it because in Guyana, they have a gold smuggling problem. Okay. So as I've been saying for years now, Guyana is the key to a lot of the terrorism happening around the world because they are allowing their nation to become a gold smuggling center for the Iranian regime, in which the Iranians use that gold smuggling in order to sell their oil all around the world and not have to face sanctions. This has to be investigated. The president of the United States needs to step down into his war room and speak to his people, President Trump, and figure out what is it that these guys in Guyana are doing to help the Iranians get around sanctions, because this is a serious deal. And if it's not fixed, this will only get worse. Okay, so one of the huge problems that the nation of Guyana has is that they are basically number 2 in the world right now of flagged vessels under their nation going through the world, smuggling oil and everything else. So as of last year, I think 43 vessels were caught illegally flagged under the Guyanese flag, smuggling oil. Most of this is through the Iranians, and it's done in order for them to fund their terrorism. There is absolutely nothing that the PPP government in Guyana is doing to stop this. They don't care. They're pretending as if there's nothing they can do about it. Well, as I've said before, President Trump needs to get on this, because no matter what our military does in Iran, as long as they can continue to get funds because they're using Guyana as a middleman for gold and oil, these conflicts with them and the terrorism around the world will continue. It is imperative that the Guyanese government get on top of this and prevent their flag from being used on all of these oil vessels that the Iranians are using to get around sanctions.
I'm telling you, y'all, here we going on there. That's just a little snippet of what the brother Tom Anderson is highlighting on his platform of Ram Politics, giving us some insights that we might not normally hear as Guyanese, right? Big up to yourself, Tom, wherever you're there. Thanks for sharing that bombshell piece of information right there. Zebuya Israel is highlighting this. She did not retreat. And she did not retreat. She could take any party she wants to take. Big up yourself, Zebuya Israel. Every time I hear your name, I think of this song that I used to like sing when I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, I used to be a part of the Hebrew Israelite camp in Guyana. Song is go like, Jeru, 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 Shalom. You know the song Zibuya? Drop it into the comment section. If you know it, drop a 9 Zibuya. If you know that song, drop a 9. Big up yourself to Eva saying good afternoon, Carlisle. Well, you see, the travelers having their own conversation in the chat. I'm telling you, big up to all the travelers, all the frequent flyers, all the moderators, all the new travelers. This is Delta 9 Media, and it's a Turn Up Tuesday. We live. We highlighting some very important and very, very trending information right now, right here.
Because at the end of the day, the aim is to get it thrown out. And so if we succeed in doing that, then we gonna mend fences. And if we mend fences, it means that all are we one again, all are we one family again. Except that the control of GCOM is now divided between the two of us. And so if there is a mending of fence between the Mohammeds and the kleptocrats over the PPP, and the Mohammeds through the Win Party have a casting vote at GCOM, the likes of the PNC and APNU and any political party outside of PPP dead.
I'm telling you.
Because then the decisions that will be made there would be 100% PPP. But nobody considered that. A lot of us, we were saying, be careful what you're doing, because we don't believe that there is this real separation between Azruddin or the Mohammeds and the PPP. We don't believe there is that real separation. And so by taking the actions that a lot of you took, you will be putting powers in the hands of the Mohammeds that can be used to support the PPP to further destroy the democracy in this country. And so it is with that in mind that I'm looking at what is happening, or I'm listening to the rumors of what is taking place over at Win. This is not.
I telling you, rumors them spreading. Say that Win got a lot of fighting. Delta the hip on the juggling. We hearing rumors of war. I tell you, rumors and rumors, rumors and rumors. What is going on in the political space, internationally, locally? We updating one another, but it is Delta 9 Media, and we getting into some of these very important details. Earlier, our brother Kadaki is highlighting right there. What y'all think about it? What y'all think about that, buddy? Because we hearing this conversation, you know. I keep highlighting this since before the elections. We're talking about this since August month. Or even probably before August. I said, listen. Win and the PPP is one originally, but now it's appearing like if it's two. One is red and the other one is blue. That is how it appears to you. But really and truly, if we take a stock and take a good look at what's going on, both of these parties come together behind the scenes and operate as one. As one. You don't do billion-dollar deals, big business like that, and then just suddenly, openly in public, you got a big discrepancy back and forth. No. Things don't happen like the way you make them type of business deals. There's always got some type of compromise. You understand? There's always got some amount of compromise. At least that's why I think. That's why I think I could be wrong. I could stand corrected on that point. But I, just like the brother Kadaki, I think that there's still certain amount of ties between the two parties, right?
Not just about who fighting who and win, but it is the long-term impact of who controls Win. and the conditions under which wind is controlled.
I'm telling you.
And I want us to look at that. I want us to pay careful attention to that, because I believe they got some serious implications. The other thing is, I will argue that a lot of the folks whose names are associated with the fallout at wind, and who is writing resignation letter, and who is threatening to resign, and who is being forced out, and so on and so forth, are people who are used as baits for Afro-Guyanese support to win.
That's crazy.
I know that many Afro-Guyanese took the bait hook, line, and sinker, and they were hauled in by Win. And Win has gotten the benefits and continue to get the benefits, and may continue to get the benefits. Then it's time that we could leave the bait. We could throw the bait out. We could throw the bait out.
They use it and then they cast it to the side because they done got the support that they wanted by their side. They wasn't in parliament, but now they get inside. So then they choose to reveal their hidden pride and think that they could say, hey, it's time that the secretary should slide and allow them for the power when they working hard overtime at any hour. What y'all think? They can't be right. They can't be right. How they giving allegedly Odessa a fight? One of the hardest working politicians back during election should always got a position in the party because of her representation. What do you think? Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live.
Yeah, Delta.
Big up yourself. What's going on?
I must get a 2 cents for it. I must get 2 cents for the 3 cents.
Every time.
Listen, Chinese people got to wake up. All the people who went to support Win. That's a wake up. That's a wake up. Before it's too late. Because I'll be able to tell you, since Win went into power, Win has never asked for the resignations of Clarence Singh. Never.
Yeah. And they always having a conversation about the elections being stolen, right? It would make sense for them to do so.
Yeah. And never asked for biometrics. Never asked for biometrics. Why wouldn't you want biometrics? Everything the election be stolen. We need to go for biometrics.
Yeah.
We have never said a word.
Too suspicious. There's
the only people been preaching that about me. All the time.
Yeah.
You know? So like people, some of the commentators may say, hey, there's one. They are one. Let me tell you something. I have an Indian friend. It's not about black in India, but just about Indian people. And also they stick to each other to build bridges and build generation work. They put everything else aside just to do that. They make all the sacrifices. I had an Indian friend by the name of Black. He neighbor in the country used to fight down and chop up one another. And when he neighbor come to America, he helped the neighbor to buy a house. The same neighbor we chop up before here to buy a home. Of course he live good.
Yeah.
So what I tell you?
They're telling me that telling me that there's a person with an elevated consciousness and they realize that, listen, when it's time to network and work, we got to network and work for the betterment of one another.
So we got to build wealth.
And I don't want none of the Indo viewers to think that we're looking down on that kind of unity.
No,
because that is to be admired. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
showing unity.
I just say, just highlighting. Yeah, we listening.
And these people think that these voters, whether Indian or black, that open eyes
Yeah.
and realize that when is the same PPP, no matter what they're fighting and killing each other and talking about this, when the PPP don't want to win go to America, that is all everything else, you know.
Yeah.
That's why Muhammad is holding back his 2 pennies.
Okay.
Muhammad is holding back. He don't say he wanted to say he is that, but they were directed and told, listen, there's your last thought, hold on to it. This is what I save you.
Huh.
You understand? If
Yeah.
these people will put you through all this, is what will save you. You understand? The government trying to save itself right now, and Obama and Muhammad got saved himself eventually.
Aye, aye, aye. And who saved the people, buddy? People
Yeah.
condone.
So, yeah, a lot of Indian people is not done with the PPP and the bullshit, you know. Sorry, but not done with them and that shit at all.
Aye.
The people are very conscious now, and they're speaking up more than ever before. There's never before years through election, you never Indian people speak out so much bad about their own government and stuff like that. Because it's set up. They realize these people are about it's about the elite, all about the elite. They're not about the 4 class Indians, nor the 4 class of black people. They're not about that. Or other Indians. We can't put on Indians either. Because they suffer the same way too.
Bye, oh boy.
So we gotta stop voting race.
We got
and
to.
let Indian people start coming over to Afro at a great land for the country. And if you gotta check this track record of even the PNC. What is the bill they are now? When South Ghana was at all these different factories, the textile factory, all the pharmaceutical places, for them, all that taking place. When the government put in place the factory, they put in places they think.
Prefab houses and them thing like Uncle I feel is highlight on the live and them thing. You understand? When I hear about them thing is make a jump and say prefab houses. Guyana? Oh my, oh my.
Boy, we gotta push the people. We gotta keep educating the people.
Yeah.
Keep educating them all the time. I can't take your program all the time. I'm listening. I mean, my last fucking stuff to send to the end of the speak right now.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure you run the barrel off nice, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So what's first thing I doing all for?
All right. Big up yourself. Thanks for calling in. Have a good one.
Take care.
Insightful travelers in the live right now, calling in and highlighting certain details.
That's what I want us to pay attention to. And finally, this is just an observation. Last week I saw Mr. Winston Jordan mention that WIN had launched the independence celebration, 6 weeks of observances or whatever. I noted when the invitation came out to the media, the address was, what do you call it, Unity Quarters. I can't remember the exact name. But I asked myself immediately, where is the office of the leader of the opposition located? And somebody can give me some clarity here, because I'm getting the impression that the office of the leader of the opposition is located at one of the properties owned by the Mohammeds. Is that it?
What? So what I mean, buddy?
If you're saying the Mohammeds are sanctioned, and the office of the leader of the opposition is usually rented through government funding, is our government doing business? I mean, they got to do business in the National Assembly, because in practice, the man was elected to the National Assembly and so on. But is the people's money being used to pay rent to the Mohammeds for a property that is being used by the leader of the opposition, or the office of the leader of the opposition? I don't know. Because when the people, when they get a fallout at WIN,
So is it a situation where persons are renting? So that means funds coming in from the. What's, listen, I don't even want this thing something where you really said I take. But wait, doesn't this have implications internationally? Don't they think that this might be one of the reasons why Honorable Mia Motley say, I gotta do things differently because people playing games and I can't play games. We got one of the wealthiest nations in the Caribbean, and I gotta make sure I secure what's going on with Barbados by right. But what's going on with Guyana? And as we just heard a conversation about persons doing business, let's hear some of these details coming in from Honorable Dr. Todd. And he's highlighting these details right here about the APNU being willing and ready to work along with the rest of the opposition. It's a big question and it's been asked a lot of times. And we're going to get these details coming in from a person who would know exactly what's going on with that. Big up yourself to the Honorable Dr. Todd, one of the hardworking members of the APNU. Plus, don't forget, Dr. Todd was the one that was out on the street looking out for the persons that they take into custody when the situation was done with Adriana Young. Yeah, it was Dr. Todd. Was Dr. Todd and his team that was out looking out for persons, and big up the Honorable Simona Brooms as well. Big up the whole ALP, right? They were out and advocating for those that had no help in that situation there with all them trumped up charges. Allegedly. Allegedly. Right? So definitely big up to Honorable Dr. Todd. Congratulations, sir, on the new building, right? Right there, Smythe and Durban, right? The new building for Todd and Associates. So if you're looking for somebody to represent you and represent you in a real way, one of the best in the country, Todd and Associates, right there, Durban and Smythe. Durban and Smythe.
We are not opposed to confronting issues where there is a consensus and where there is some form of commonality.
Just so you know, that's not me making the background noise there. That's some amount of background noise in the video. I must apologize for the noise nonetheless, but it's not Delta 9 Media making a set of noise in the background.
You see, this question has been, I think, peddling more. And I want to say, while our party leaders are definitely going to map out a very strong path to that cooperation, I think that we must be very practical. One of the things that we must be practical about is to understand political ideals, ideologies. And so while you might be thinking that working together is an easy path, it is not as easy as we want to say it. Because one of the things that you would appreciate that the PNCR APNU has very strong historical, clear philosophies and ideals when it comes to our party. It has always been down the line of justice. It has always been on the line of fairness. It has always been down the line of equality, etc. Now, where there are issues, and I can tell you, there have been, I think, numerous examples where we are seeing cooperation. For example, when we just had the situation with the twins dying in police custody, you didn't see a divided opposition. You saw party you came from, you saw coming together. You saw us highlighting, you saw us meeting with the families, you saw us calling for independent investigation. And to my mind, that is cooperation. It means that we have identified, we have seen some of the issues that society has, and we are confronting them in common way. Now, in relation,
Big up yourself, Hyson, one of our loyal supporters. Even though we don't have channel membership anymore, big up yourself, Hyson, and thanks for being a channel member. Thanks for supporting independent media, and thanks for being a part of this live presentation. Good afternoon, Delta, and all the listening audience. Good afternoon, one and all. Many blessings, many, many more blessings to you and all your loved ones, I send. Thanks for being a part of the live. Big up to all of those real supporters of independent media. I appreciate it, and I really appreciate you. All the travelers, everybody. That's why I'm here, doing it and making sure that all the headlines, we update one another with it. Very important details. You only gonna get it like that on Delta 9 Media. Very important headlines. No gib, no situation that is just mediocre. The big stories and the stories that are important internationally and locally, right here on Delta 9 Media. Right? Clifton, thanks for tuning in. All Win is Fighting is GCOM APNU representatives. Aye, aye, aye. See how much people calling it out? People calling it for what it is. God is seeing through the veil right now. It's clear. They could see what's going on. Big up yourself, Clifton. Cheryl, thanks for tuning in. Delta 9 Media. Yeah, we right there. And it's a Turn Up Tuesdays, and we here. Jamie is saying good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jamie. Thanks for tuning into the live. Flight, what going on, buddy? Delta 9, up and running. Big up everyone in and out. Every time flight, up and we running. Can't keep the flight out here for too long. You know, we had a little bit of turbulence as we was flying over the Bermuda Triangle. But we're back in operation. Back in operation, and we're up and we are running. Why? We're getting all of these support from you, the viewers. You, the viewers, is make this live what it is, you know, the interaction, the real conversations. That's what the live is about. That's what this is about. So we could all understand these headlines and we could have meaningful conversations. So we could suss out what's going on in the country, internationally, and them things. You know? Yeah, that's what Delta 9 Media is about. Big up yourself, Flight. Flight is one of our frequent travelers on the live. Thanks for tuning in every time. Owen, thanks for being a part of the live. Owen is saying, family and friends of Delta, blessed good day. Big up yourself. Thanks for tuning in, Owen. A lot of new travelers, a lot of frequent travelers in the live.
To whether you will see a statement, a bold statement in relation to the parties coming together. You may not see that, but don't take it for granted that the parties are working in their own corners. Now, as I said, we have had countless opportunities for there to be cooperation in the parliament. I think we had parliamentary members in talks and that to some extent failed. We had in relation cooperation with wind, well, talks with wind for corporations in other areas, and that's it. So there has to be a wider approach to this. And I think it will go down or to go back to the fact that we have to see a lot more seriousness coming forward. I have even more examples. To doing an attempting to remove opposition members at GCOM and all of this. That's not really. That's not really. When cooperation must mean that it must come through respect. These members that you have that have attempted to and I'm saying attempted because it's not going to happen not through the way that they want it. It has no basis. Look at showing these things out in the public in an attempt to somehow embarrass the party. That's not a party that really wants cooperation. You have been attacking all the people who have been fighting for changes in GCOM. That tells us that teaches us a very worrying lesson about wind.
A very worrying lesson. Very worrying lesson. Big up yourself, Carol. See what Carol highlighting. Thanks for being a part of this live presentation. Why would you want to remove persons that is fighting for the Guyanese people? Why would you want to remove persons that is fighting for the Guyanese people? Why? It don't make no sense. Carol highlighting it. The gentleman and the scholar, the Honorable Dr. Todd, is highlighting it. Other people in the chat highlighting it. A lot of frequent travelers highlighting the same thing. It just don't make any sense unless, like the brother Kadaki, very intellectual, was highlighted. You are saying this. Maybe they're still working together. They're still one, even though we thinking it's two. The red and the blue. The red and the blue, right? Big up to all the travelers right now in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, please and thank you. We get a lot of hate on this site sometimes, you know. A lot. They're trying to pull down this platform. And that's why I'm asking you to please and thank you. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure they didn't unsubscribe you. Because we no longer have channel membership. We no longer have a lot of the other features that we would have had on this platform before. So the independent way that you can support Delta 9 Media is to make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure that you share the live if you can and subscribe. And if you're looking to financially support, all you have to do is to support one of the sponsors, right? And when you support the sponsors will keep the show going. We not asking you and begging you for no donation, you know. Me want nothing from no one for free. That's what my father is now. Sorry. I'm sorry, you just break it into me. I could have never take nothing for free. You want to see you work for that? Carry it back.
It makes us want to question what really is WIN's objective. Yes, I'm definitely to the party leadership to try to attack the things that the ills that we have been talking about in GCOM. Have you called for the removal of the chairmanship of GCOM? Have you called for that? Have you called for to electoral laws? Have you called for stronger recommendation? Have you publicly said anything about the recommendation, European Union observers' recommendations? A lot of observations which we believe are written about our electoral system. you have a history that you can follow, a history that an analysis that you can go down the line doing and recognizing that the people you are coming against are the only people in GCOM that has a track record of fighting to get this system changed, but you want to remove them.
The people that want to fix this system, they want to remove. I wonder if it's that wickedness got them confused, creating a lot of conflict in the party right now, like we're going on in the Strait of Hormuz. What y'all think? Could it be that Honorable Miss Primus was only getting used? I don't know. I don't know. Drop it into the comment section and call it in. Let's have some meaningful conversation, right thinking conversation about these and other very important matters. Owen is saying you don't know. Owen is saying you don't know, say me GB Delta 9 always bring factual info, right? Real thing, real thing. Thanks for being on board. Thanks for being on board, Owen. Thanks for being a part of the live. Big up yourself every single time. Bridget, thanks for tuning in. Good afternoon to my Delta 9 family. I'm listening to gain that knowledge. I'm telling you, right now we're listening to the gentleman and the scholar, the Honorable Dr. Hines, right? No, what I'm saying, not Dr. Hines, Dr. Todd. My bad. The Honorable Dr. Todd, right there on Smythe and Durban Street. Dr. Todd and Associates, some of the best legal team that you can get in Guyana. One of the best legal teams in Guyana. Dr. Todd and Associates, one of the members of the APNU. The Honorable Mr. Todd is highlighting these details right here. Big up yourself to the Honorable Dr. Hines, another brother that shares so much insights, always hardworking, and for so many years, probably when I was a little baby, Dr. Hines is out and about doing the work of the people, right? Big up yourself, Dr. Hines, wherever you're there. The name just jump out, so we gotta big you up. Cheryl is saying, Mohammed are taking Afro-Guyanese for fools. Yeah, it seems like a lot of persons are falling for the guys that's gonna left we and our descendants in the same situation. Y'all see the decision that Honorable MOTTLEY is making? Y'all think that decision came lightly? Y'all think that decision didn't have to come with a lengthy consideration and the implications that is going to have throughout CARICOM and all of that history that Guyana got with Barbados and all that? I mean, what we watching that going on right now in GT saying, buddy, that is problem. That is a lot of situations that, listen, me want to deal with that. I got peace and we're going on right there. We got one government. We ain't got no real opposition giving we no fight. We gotta make sure these people stay happy and everything is done how it should be done so that we could continue winning the elections in the manner that we would have won it. But I don't know what's going on with anybody. People trying to remove the very people that looking out for me and you. And it's good that we got persons like Honorable Mr. Todd highlighting these details, right? Cheryl is saying, good day, Delta, and all my fellow Guyanese at all right-thinking people. Guys, Mohammed is a fake. He used the melanated people to get into office for himself and the PPP to run Guyana. Oh, jeez. So that means these man might cooking up a little situation to change certain things in the constitution by having that majority to do so. We all think about that. We watching and we paying attention. We saying it since before the elections and we're gonna keep highlighting it. Cause we care what we're going on in Guyana, you know. We gotta live there. We got family that's live there. That's where we born and grow. So we can't watch people, you know, destroying the place and we just let it go just so. Like they don't know. We continue. Cheryl is saying that Odessa Primus would have reputed and said that the news is fake. Big up yourself to the Honorable Odessa Primus that would have highlighted that, listen, I didn't give you no resignation. I don't know what these people are talking about. They're trying to cause problems for Win, but Win is a strong movement. I'm trying to paraphrase some of what I heard the conversation was about. Big up yourself and thanks for dropping that detail into the live. We understand that that's what was said, but we're speculating as if maybe there was a back and forth. Maybe they found a way to move past those hurdles, and we're hoping that some amount of representation will be there for the people because with all that's going on internationally, there should be some unified opposition force to call some amount of parliamentary involvement. That's why we have politicians and we got a government, we got the opposition party so that they could come together, all these smart and intellectual people, these people that understand the different industries in the country so that we could get things set so that Guyanese and get the full brunt of what's coming, buddy. Don't let me play around. Don't let me play around with what's going on internationally. Don't let me act like if we don't see what's going on. Rasta Empress is saying my people need to open their eyes and see what's going on. Tell you, very insightful. Thanks for moderating the live as well. Flight is saying, Delta, how long would these brothers and sisters playing with Muhammad? He is welcome in the USA. He got his invite to fly. Real thing. And the ambassador would have already highlighted that. The ambassador was highlighting it. And if you hear the ambassador highlighting it, it got to be coming from a position of power because the ambassador is not just going to be saying these things. She got a back in for what she's saying. To just be highlighting details like that is not normal for an ambassador to be doing, right? Big up yourself, Light, and thanks for dropping those insights into the comment section. When it's saying it's a big cheese game that is playing out in Guyana, and the black people of Guyana is the pawn, oh boy, of what is happening. The sad thing is this, it's not just the melanated people alone, but we making up the majority. And if we don't realize what's playing out in front of our faces, buddy, then I telling you, a couple of years down the line, remember hindsight is 2020, you know, everybody is gonna be able to see at that time just how certain situations set up some people to look like some big punks. Some big punks. Looking like a big punks. You got persons playing you and stringing you along with a set of foolishness, knowing that they are a part of what's going on. Hmm? I telling you. Share that for my moderator. Let me hear what's going on right there.
I go. I am coming in. Don't talk to you already. And you better start to make sure and your group put yourself in order and say, hey, we got to hold the PNC, we got to put these powerful people back into play in the city because we gonna be fucked. I must get somewhere else I go. And the people coming for you. The people don't plan when they get this city. They're gonna revamp the city police. And they're gonna bring out the trucks and things from over here of the city. Me tell you what's going on. So if I feel say I want to sit down local government election, I'm here voting. All I was selling from all down the East Coast, everywhere the people moving all here from the roadway. Me tell you something. Me tell you, all I was selling on the roadways, up and down the coast, they're moving y'all. They are moving y'all. Y'all got to put everything in your yard. They are moving y'all. Some people don't get notice. Some people don't get notice to move. Some people have to put the business place in the yard or in front of the people place. I got beg the people to apply to your trade or pay them to sell in the yard. Me tell you what's going on. The people say it's obstruction. I am telling y'all what is going on. This is not for me like talk. Them frag me come over get you direct, but me get you direct. Because a lot of people don't get notice. A lot of people don't get notice to move their stalls. I sleep on it and see what will happen if I allow these people to go back into to take over the city. I go down and watch you say I go get fair fucking play. Fair play. Nobody on Regent Street, whatever street I head upon, y'all gotta move in front of the people business place. The people want all y'all to move. You don't set up. They want all I move. The people don't set. Nobody vending in front of the place.
Big up yourself, Dion. Welcome to the live. Thanks for calling in.
Blessing of his brother. Blessing of his family. Blessing of the audience. We got to establish one thing.
Yeah.
Without an there is no power. You understand me, brother? So, Anna is the person who is behind the scene, my brother, distributing and collecting and making all the arrangements. And people got to read it. Because without her, how they going to get the party chairs? How they get the logo? How they get everything done? How they get the US representative?
Yeah.
So people got to reach the time. I'm the one now that directly now supposed to be involved in all the caption, everything spending.
Okay.
You understand me, God?
Okay, so she's playing an intricate role.
I don't believe the correct. Pardon?
She's playing a very intricate role in what's going on, you see.
Yes, my brother.
Okay.
I'm not just a very bright girl. I'm not give her praise. You know?
No, we're not taking anything. We're not taking anything away from her intellectual prowess, and we're definitely not saying that, she doesn't know or didn't play a part, but what we're analyzing is what happens, right, if there's a power struggle within this party and certain persons were to leave the party. That's what Kadaki was asking the question about. What would be the situation to win at that time?
We got to remember, right? these officials are members of parliament. They're well elected and solely elected members of parliament.
Mm-hmm.
So don't matter if Odessa is not the thing. She also is a political party. That party also, my brother.
Exactly.
So,
And the holder of the list is the owner of the list is who?
Yeah.
The holder of the list. The holder of the list is who? For win.
The holder of the list?
Yeah. The person who's controlling the list. You know, like how Norton is control the list for AP and you? And allegedly. Yeah.
Self-control list, my brother.
Exactly. So that's why the bickering might be just a rumor, because if you're bickering with the person who holding the list, they could easily put somebody else in your position.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, my brother, look at it. They come a far way. You understand?
Yeah, they did.
Always come a far way.
They
very,
did.
very far way, my brother.
They did.
You understand? She did a lot for him. She stretched out her hands for him, you know?
And Odessa would have set yeah.
If there's any big bickering, my brother, it's just speculation, I believe, my brother. Because at the end of the day, I mean, one will really get firing power. And I see that way. You understand me, brother?
I hear that.
Yes, man. Anyhow, maybe look listening.
Big up yourself. Thanks for calling in and for dropping those insights in the live. Telling you a lot of frequent travelers tuned in, listening in. And we've been flying right now. And we didn't even notice it for almost 2.5 hours live right here on Delta 9 Media. Definitely a turn up Tuesdays. And we didn't even get through half of the headlines. We got so many other headlines that we're going to have to come back and do another live so that we could get into some of those details. You see how we make sure we present the very important conversations, the important headlines. We didn't even get into some of the international headlines coming in with the complications in the Strait of Hormuz and all of this. We hear about this thing we're going on right now because they got a lot of grabbing the streets going on in Region 4, but guess what's going on in Region 11? Y'all know it was Region 11. Region 11 is New York because we are one of the largest demographic of immigrants in New York, right? So in Region 11, they got a big grabbing right now going on. People is taking people's houses and they're calling it theirs, and people got a documentation and they're just taking over these people's place. We're gonna highlight though on the next live. We hear what was coming in right here. So from the judge, right? Highlighting the fact that a lot of persons is going to find themselves in some hardship, buddy, some hard situations because they're planning and they're getting ready to do certain things. As we could see, the streets were already taken. The mayor's kind them to court right now, and there's so much of so much updates in these headlines that we're gonna have to make sure that we do a separate live just to get into some of these details, right? Big up to everybody watching us from GT, persons watching us from Barbados. Big up to the Honorable Liam MOTTLEY. We are here looking and saying, but what is why we presidents can't just, you know what I mean, stand up and be brave and deal with things like how Liam MOTTLEY is dealing with it, buddy. Right? Real big deals, y'all. That deal. I read the article. Big movements going on in Barbados, right? With even though we're a bit upset at the fact that you're sitting down with this one here, so we're in brooch and them things showing that she taking over a big part of Guyana, like if it's their own. She ain't hear about this situation here, so what happened with the last person? She ain't hear the last person who was bigging up his chest and hyping up himself and talking what he can do and this and that. Look, we end up. Look.
night, qué triste. Good night. Happy New Year.
Since the Happy New Year, in the jinx, right? Deal with her. So all of them who want to walk around with brooch and them thing, watch it or no. Watch yourself. Because the same people that put you in that position could put you in he position. So pay attention. And don't feel that everything is good. Because they probably more than likely got something on you as well. They more than likely got something on you as well. And we can hear about it. You and the brooch we can hear about. I know the US got something on you and that brooch. Nariyama is saying the FEMA camps. Well, you hope they know FEMA camp to come for GT or for certain parts because there's nothing good at all. So many insights coming in from all the travelers during the elections as motto was justice for Adriana Young. Yeah, it was just past 1 year and he did not even mention her name in any of his so-called concerns about justice for her. Well, to be honest with you, he did have a little coming together with the family members, and they did do something to commemorate, like a memorial for Adriana on the day when it made a year for her, situation where she was so gruesomely taken from her family and her loved ones. I want to say condolences to all her loved ones, and I want to say rising power to our everlasting energy in transformation, right? Because remember, energy can't be destroyed. It could only transform. Can't be destroyed. That's one of the laws of thermodynamics. You know what's another one? Anything left to itself goes to chaos. Anything left to itself goes to chaos. And that's why we can't play around and left the country to anything and anybody. Because it's going to go to chaos. And then we're going to find order in that chaos that has been created. And who want to deal with them type of hurdles? We ain't got time for that. But nonetheless, big up to all the travelers. Big up to all the moderators. Big up to all the channel members. Even though you're no longer channel members, I didn't take care of the list. It's them. It's the haters them that is come through on the platform and doing all kind of thing, trying to drag down real information. The mad because we're sharing certain insights. The mad because we kind of flight on whole different altitude. The mad because this is one of the realest platforms that's presenting any type of content in Guyana. They can't touch me, This is Delta 9 Media. Nobody else ain't gonna present like this. Right? Delta 9 Media is what it is. Pick up yourself to everybody that is a part of the live right now. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of this live presentation. There's so many insights and there's so many details in this live. Big up to everybody live with us. Who's here right now? Jamie is saying, I'm watching from Region 9, Rupanuni. I'm telling you, we all over Guyana. Right? All over. Big up to everybody in the Rupanuni Savannah. A beautiful place. Beautiful place. Definitely got to take a trip there when I'm in the country again. Right? Definitely got to take a trip there and showcase some of the beauty of Guyana to persons all over the globe. Because this is an international flight, So every part of the world that we go, we're going to showcase it. And especially when we in Guyana, oh man, we got to showcase how beautiful Guyana is, the people, the food, everything, And even better that they got independence coming up on the 26th of next month. You never know. I might just be there for that special 60th commemoration It's going to be a special occasion. So if you ain't got your ticket yet, and if you're there, then definitely you're in the place to be. Big up to everybody that's in the live. Big up to everybody that's going to catch this live in the rewind in the future. So many insights that we hear coming in. Let's hear some more that's coming in right here from the judge.
So I could sit down. Y'all could sit down, man. Y'all could play, oh, me gonna vote, me gonna this. Y'all sit down. I better get the fuck up and go and vote. Make sure I keep the PNC and the ALP into play in the city. Because let me tell you something. I put win in the city, the people will still fuck I up. Because it's the worst you put in.
Let me hold off on some of them expletives coming in there from the judge. The judge plug out. I'm telling you. And the flight has landed right here on Delta 9 Media. Yeah, the flight has landed, buddy. Yeah, I didn't even notice how smooth the landing was, right? You see how I do it? Smooth landing. Flight landed, baggage running out. You understand? That's the format of how we do the live. And if you haven't already, thumbs up this live presentation. Take a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen. It don't cost you nothing. It don't take nothing out to you. But just check at the bottom of the screen, hit the thumbs up button. Check at the bottom of the screen, share the live. And if you're looking for an independent way to support Delta 9 Media, then get some of our merch. You understand? Get some of Delta 9 Media merch and represent your party. Why? Because we're not biased against no one party, this party. No, we're about the people. So definitely, we bring in every aspect to what's going on the ground.
No matter where in the world, we love Guyana. What are your colors? How do you represent? I love Guyana. Order yours today. We ship worldwide. Delta 9 Media.
One love, one people, the mission complete. One love, one flag, one nation, right? Under the stars, divine presence in the sky. Unity, no war, let the children thrive. Power to the people, we keep hope alive.
What's your color? Get yours right there on delta9media.com. That's how you support independent media. That's how you support Delta 9 Media. Fair exchange. No robbery, right? Fair exchange. Get yourself some of that fly merch, a nice bomber jacket. Represent your color, represent your party. Don't shame, right? Don't shame. Pick up yourself to all the travelers. Make sure you get your luggage. How you can get your luggage? You got thumbs up the live. When you thumbs up the live, you can get the right luggage. Other than that, it just might be stuck on the belt. And then you gotta wait for them to deliver it. I'm telling you. You know how this go already. You mightn't get it until you're ready for go back. You understand? Big up to all the persons who migrated all over the world. All of those in Guyana and all of those from Guyana. All over this globe. Like me. Right? Y'all don't know how good y'all there. Y'all don't know how sweet Guyana is. I'm telling you. Don't let persons destroy it and turn it into a hell on earth. When you got the option, make sure that you vote the right persons into the positions of power. They don't like when we said, this is why they come and give you a fight. But guess what? We can continue to stand for right. Whether day, afternoon, midday, even at night. Big up yourself to all the travelers. One love, and I'll catch you in the next flight. Thanks for being a part of this live presentation. Big up to all the moderators, Rasta Empress, Nariana, Carlisle, every single moderator that's in the live, all the frequent travelers, all the new travelers that are with us, everybody that call in, flight we're going on, buddy, every single person. Cheryl, big up yourself. Thanks for being a part of the live. Good day to Delta 9 and all the followers, Guyanese, all the right thinking people all over, right? Big up yourself. Cheryl, all the moderators, everybody that make this live what it is, right? You, the public, the ones that interact with me on the live presentation, as you can see, y'all is make this live with his buddy. Thanks for tuning in. You don't know, Delta 9 Media is the one that is present and bring you these very important headlines. We end up on giving and presenting nothing very important because right now the world is paying attention to what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. Greetings around to Delta 9 News Alive.
Please don't hang up the phone.
Too early for that. These telemarketers just dead. They telling you, I ain't even know how they get this number. How they get this number, man? They operating like when I had to get remember when you put your information down for the cash grant and then some random people just calling you up? Oh, these telemarketers is just finding you, but I ain't telling you. Big up to everybody in the chat nonetheless. We are in the airport. The flight has landed. And thank you again for being a part of this live. And I will catch you in the next one.
One love. Advertise with us and let's help you promote your next product, project, or event. More than 1 million viewers every month in Guyana and all over the globe. No project too big, no project too small. Delta 9 Media. Let's help your project reach its widest possible audience.